Hello, welcome back to the level 99 grind. I'm Circle Master. I'm very tired. Not from anything in particular other than general lack of sleep. But mostly I'm tired of painting AdMech. I have spent like 2 weeks. It's probably not actually been 2 weeks. I've spent like a week painting 50 Adeptus Mechanicus figures. If you don't know, Adeptus Mechanicus figures have a great deal of tiny details that I cannot give a shit about. Is my microphone working? It sure seems like it's not. It sure seems like I'm talking and nothing's happening. Now I have to open up my own stream. No, I guess it is working. Maybe I'm just being ground out by the music. But why would I be drowned out by my own music? Unless a software update fucked over my settings. It's entirely possible that a software update fucked over my own settings. Skosh down the music. And skosh up the microphone. I'm not even getting into the yellow yet. Why is it not cooperating with me? Hello? 100%. Well, now I'm getting the yellow at least. Okay. Fuck everything and fuck myself. I love audio issues. We're 3 minutes in. I can say fuck. I hope. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with that, but at least now I could tell when I'm talking. So yeah, I don't know. Hopefully somebody will yell at me, except I doubt anybody's watching right now. Anyway, what was I talking about? Adeptus Mechanicus. They have lots of tiny detail that I very quickly stopped caring about painting correctly. Which is partially my own fault for trying to paint 50 models at the same time. That's on me. But it is also the fault of Games Workshop for having tiny little details that often break off and need to be re-glued. Which also takes into the, adds to the time when it comes to painting them. But yeah, I do not recommend trying to speed paint 50 models. And when I say speed paint, what I actually mean is batch paint. Where it's like, okay, there's, you know, a lot of red with Adeptus Mechanicus. They're from Mars. So let me get out the red paint and let me paint all 50 models with what parts are red. And I go, okay, a lot of them have black pants and some black trim. Let me get out the black paint, paint all 50 models, the parts that are black. It's a great way to want to kill yourself when you're painting. If you want to get into painting, I suggest you get one figure and you paint it the way you want, but the one figure. And then if you want to play an army game, probably don't, but hey, we all make mistakes. But if you want to batch paint, limit yourself to like maybe 5 at the most. Because let's think about what we're talking about here. If you speed paint a model and you're like on top of your game, you can do that in an hour. Prime it, paint it, base it, everything, an hour. A, I was not on top of my game, obviously. B, even assuming that I was, we're looking at an hour to do one model. I had 50 models. Even speed painting a set of 50 models in batch painting, that's 50 hours of painting. 50. That's too much. Y'all wonder why I complain about AdMech. That's like 2 of the reasons right there. You need an inordinate amount of models for what is supposed to be an elite army. And they have too many tiny details to paint. I literally got to the point where I was like, fuck it. I'm not basing anymore. I'm not base coating any more of this shit. I'm not doing any of these details anymore. I got 3 colors on them already. I'm just gonna slap metallic paints on parts of them. Slap wash on it. Slap basing material on it. And now they're done. And when I say done, I mean there's a whole lot of fucking duraluminum. Vallejo Metal Color series is very good. Duraluminum is like the base that you can use for a lot of different metallics. But the point is, they're not like well painted, which is why I will not be taking a picture of any of them, and I will not be sharing it on social media, because they are fugly. But they have base colors, they have a wash, so they have shading. There's material on the base, which is to say the round platform that the model sits on. And that is all that is required under Games Workshop rules for them to be quote-unquote battle ready. which is basically just a rule that they came up with so that people did not field armies of gray plastic unpainted models, nor did they field armies of models that they spray painted one color. So I have a technically legal army in terms of painting. And that's where it's gonna fucking stay, because I don't want to touch any of them anymore. There's more details I could have done. There's like lenses and little light sources and wires and cables and more wires and so many wires. Oh my god, so many wires. But I ain't doing any of that shit. They all got metallics on them. They all got a wash on them. It's fine. Fuck AdMech. So that's what I've spent the majority of the past several weeks on. Also, a couple weeks ago, my 3D printer setup exploded. I had multiple components fail, one of which caused a cascade failure upon other parts. If you know about resin 3D printing, I had a puncture in the FFIX sheet, which caused resin to spill onto the screen. I did have a screen protector on, but I had to replace the FEP, I had to replace the screen. I don't know what the fuck happened, but I used water washable resin. And I had basically a thing set up to take the wash water, the contaminated water, and basically force evaporate the water and leave the resin waste behind, which I could then cure and toss out. And the machine that I had doing that somehow failed in spectacular fashion. I don't even know how it failed, but like the water was turning brown, which brown is not the color of the resin, and it's also not the color of water. And there wasn't resin in the thing, old resin, so it's not like there was resin burning or anything. So I don't know what the fuck happened, but something failed inside of it, I think, and was rusting. Like maybe there was a bad seal in the thing or something that was causing water to get in. I don't know. It was bad. I had to throw that whole thing out. So now I'm going low tech again, which is to say I'm going to have the wastewater in a bucket, and then I'm just going to hang up a UV lamp over the bucket and shine UV light into the bucket to cure the resin in it. And then either just let it stand and evaporate naturally, or seal it up to dispose of it in a facility somewhere. Although I'd have to look up where such a facility is in the state that I'm in now. But either way, we're going low tech. no no active electronics other than the UV lamp, and if the UV lamp fails, then it's not going to do anything horrific, because it's not like the UV lamp is going to be in the water or anything. But anyway, after all that failure and having to fix, replace the FEP film, replace the screen protector, clean everything up, get everything secure again, re-level the fucking build plate, which took way too long. But I finally, this morning, got a successful test print off. I've got a sliced file that's basically just some rafts spread around the build plate to check that it's level. It's got 13 rafts on it in like the corners and sides and in the middle. And if all 13 print, then I'm confident that it's level. And I kept having not all 13 print. And it was very annoying to have to re-level the thing over and over. But this morning, in fact just before I started the stream, I had a successful test print with the leveling file. So the build plate is leveled. And also the exposure time is correct because that doesn't change. So my 3D printer should now once again be fire and forget. So I've fired it. It's hopefully printing the last of the parts that failed when the thing exploded, so I can make some cool tanks, some hover tanks. Rather than spend literal hundreds of dollars on other, more different resin models that serve the same purpose, but are quote-unquote official. Except I can't even do that because they are temporarily out of stock for like the past year. Some crazy length of time. So even if I wanted to buy overpriced resin models, rather than use my resin 3D printer to make resin models for, I think, $20 worth of resin. No, I'm curious. I don't remember. Do. Let's open up Lychee and find out. Oh, shut up. I selected this file for a reason. I don't want you to load an autosave that you made that I don't care about. Let's see, how much resin is this to build a big tank? Oh, it's actually $8.49 worth of resin. Not even $20. I can get 2 for 20. 303.17 milliliters of resin estimated. And I think I think I have in here that my resin is $28 per liter. I think I actually paid a little less than that, but whatever. And if you can get cheaper resin. What's with resin? I'm talking about 3D printing. I've been complaining about modeling for like, how long is the streaming going? 20 minutes. And also my 3D printer blew up, and now I'm talking about... No, I don't wanna... I don't have any unsaved changes, fucking... light sheet slicer. Don't gaslight me. All I did was open the file and look at how much resin it is. It didn't literally like explode, although one part had a catastrophic failure mechanically. But like the film punctured that leaked resin onto the screen, which was bad. But at least I had a screen protector on. But like I had to replace the film in the vat, I had to replace the screen protector, I had to clean everything up, I had to throw away the appliance I was using to help dispose of wastewater, and I've transitioned to bucket. Going back to the low-tech solution instead of replacing that appliance. And of course, after I did all that, I had to recalibrate the printer so that it would successfully print again, which I finally did this morning. So it should spit out the last parts of a tank that I'm printing in about 4.5 hours. No, it's longer than that. No, it was like 4 hours, 48 minutes, which is some time ago. So it's like, 4.5 hours, we'll say. That's easy. I'm mostly feeling tired. I have not been sleeping well. I'm waking up early for like no reason. I know last time I said this was going to be a short stream, just to get to 80,000. I don't know if I'm going to stick to that or if I'm going to try for the long stream. Although, thinking about it, I think trying for the long stream is a mistake. How is the audio balance, by the way, since you're actually here and can tell me? I was having some audio issues before. Seems fine. That's good. So yeah, that's how I'm doing. How are you doing? just okay. I like Diablo 2. I haven't played Diablo 2 in so long. I tend to get bored with those kind of ARPGs. It's like either you are on the power curve or ahead of the power curve and it gets boring because inevitably you're just spamming the same skills over and over. Or you're behind the power curve so you're just losing and dying over and over, which is also bad. Hey, Mathwin. How's it going? Man, I know that feeling. Ugh. Well, I spent the past couple weeks grinding out painting on 50 models, which is 49 models too many to work on at one time. But that's done. I finished painting them, so now I'm back to grinding levels. It's tough with batch painting. I can tell you that. Hey, thank you for that, Omega Apple Pie. It's very much appreciated. I know my brain kind of shut off, but I am still here. Hey, Frozen Kernel, thank you for the bits. I think that's the first time somebody's given me bits. I don't remember if I ever set up an emote to be unlocked with bits, but hey, if I did, there you go. Second favorite. Which is your favorite then? Fantasy 4. Interesting. Hey, Shotgun Splicer. Well, obviously for me it's 6. I think I've said that enough times that people should know it. On the other hand, it's worth repeating. 6 is great. Music's overpowering. I turned down the music. I turned down the music some more. I've scotched down the music. I have a feeling that it's just variability by song. Oh, if you love job systems, you should play Tactics. The original Tactics, that is. The good Tactics. FF6 is great, mostly for the characters. But the Magicite system is good for tailoring characters' abilities and stats. What would be the best version of 6? The original Super Nintendo version. All the remakes add bullshit. And they also try to change the amazing translation that Ted Woolsey did. The Dragon Quest line was not bugged, no. You can absolutely do the Dragon Quest line. There were some bugs with mostly the combat. The Kaiser Dragon? I would have to look up what the Kaiser Dragon means. There is the quest to fight the 8 dragons, which you can absolutely fight all 8 dragons and get the reward for. That is not a problem. That sounds like something that was added in like the Game Boy Advance version or some bullshit like that. There's like a lot of optional bosses. If you want an optional super boss, go to the Dragon Forest and fight Brachiosaur. He has a rare drop of an economizer. But it is a repeatable fight, so it may not qualify as optional super boss, but he does toss endgame spells at you, and he does have tens of thousands of hit points. FF game you absolutely don't like one bit. Not one bit? I don't know. Probably the ones I didn't play. Or 10-2 for having Lulu get together with Waka. Where Waka's just the biggest piece of shit. So that's an option. Yeah, Final Fantasy X was the last one I gave an honest try to. I rented 12 at one point, but only played it for a couple hours. I don't need Twitter bots in my chat. Thanks. Yeah, the follow for follow thing got crushed by the algorithm years ago. So I don't know what it exists for. Yeah, there's one YouTuber I watch who does 7 Days to Die videos. 7 Days to Die is a good game, by the way. Who he still does the follow for follow thing, which he has said on video. He started out doing it as a way to like do the boost thing, but after they clamped down on that and that didn't work in the algorithm anymore, he still kept doing it just for the sake of community building, where you know, if you're visibly a gamer and not just like a bot spam account or whatever, and you follow him, he will follow you back, just as like a community thing. I don't know how valid that is in terms of actually building camaraderie between him and his community, but he still mentions the follow for follow thing in his standard closing on his videos. And that's the only person I know who still does that shit. I think most of the followers on Twitter I have are graphic designers who want to sell me Twitch emotes or banners and shit like that. When I say followers, obviously I mean Twitter/X. Yeah, right? Yeah, it's one of those open world survival crafty games. It's set in a zombie apocalypse. It's also been in early access for like 12 years. And allegedly, it's getting a 1.0 release this year. Allegedly. But in actuality, it has actually seen like a lot of changes and development over those 12 years. It is unrecognizable from when it first started out in early access. It started out very much like Minecraft, where you had a crafting system with a grid, and placing things on the grid would let you craft different things. And over time it matured and developed its own identity. It's now much more RPG with leveling and perks. And crafting is just, do you have the items and do you have the recipe? And they've been tweaking it so that having the recipe is much less trivial than it used to be. But it's a fun game. I enjoy it. Oh, it's been a while since I touched Dark Souls 1. I mean, I never really enjoyed the whole invasion meta in Souls-like games. So honestly, I don't care that the online didn't work for the longest time. See, that can be amusing. But, like, I don't understand the appeal of invading another player just to ruin their game. So, like, I'm just gonna randomly show up in some guy's single player game and murder him. Like, if you're just trying to create negative play experiences for other people, you can do that in dedicated multiplayer games. You don't need to tack on this multiplayer grief mechanic to what is otherwise an entirely single player game. Hey, Terran. Alright, well, number 3 is the space. You can slur video games together into one word, it's fine. People will know what you mean. Number 2 is video. Video is awesome, but it is not necessary because there's tabletop games, there's role-playing games, there's card games, dice games, board games. So obviously number 1 is games. Games are fun. We love games. I love all kinds of games. So that's my top 3. Number 1, games. Number 2, video. Number 3, the space. Exactly. That's the ranking from best to worst. Omega, as far as Dark Souls 1 goes, yeah, I know the quantity use glitch to get a fuck ton of souls. I don't know how to do that to dupe upgrade material. Terrible Tuesday is back, and you're not playing Covert Action because that game is not terrible. But you do need to play Covert Action at some point. Well, I don't know, write it down or something. Yeah, I'll have to look up Pocket Framed at some point. Oh my god, Nightbot appeared. I haven't had Nightbot appear in a long time. Yeah, Terravan, when are you gonna do a Three Stooges speedrun blindfolded? My chat busted too. No, my chat is not busted. Are you busted? Maybe you got the best ending for the first time. Uh-huh. I was not aware of that. Man, imagine if all it took was $20,000 in real life to marry 3 daughters. Zidane is at 67, I believe, is what I hit. No. Yeah. No, I don't remember. Every time somebody asks me that, I immediately second guess whatever I think it is. Yeah, this screen should tell me. Yeah, 67. Uh, 2 years. I'm barely over 20% of the way done. Yeah, I expect it'll be mid to late 2026 by the time I finish this. Why the Evil Forest? Because it was the first area I could find that had both random encounters, a save point, and a means to heal. All the previous areas lacked one or more of those things, and you need all three to actually be able to grind someplace. Well, thank you for the follow, KP Killshot. Yeah, I did not realize what an ordeal Final Fantasy IX would be when I decided to do it. If I was doing Final Fantasy VII again, I've already finished 20 hours ago. Something like that. Load times are a big part of it. The fact that the XP split system and the timers and the load screens make it suboptimal to have two characters alive. I don't know what that means. I've never played Final Fantasy IX before. KP Killshot rapidly unfollows. I don't know if I'll play this game casually. I mean, I'm sure I will at some point, but not with this file. I've kind of destroyed Zidane. Since he is going to be leveling to 99 with the worst stat growth in the game. Oh my god. Why is it showing 5 ads? Zidane is the only one alive because the XP that you get from enemies is divided between living party members. So if somebody else was alive, they would level at half the speed. Except due to the way so much of the fight is based on load times, probably less than half. Hey, there's nothing wrong with Taco Bell. Well, there's several things wrong with Taco Bell, but that doesn't stop me from eating it. Yeah, unfortunately I am not Twitch partner enough to control my own ads. It just Twitch decides to run ads, and if you're subbed and you also refresh the browser, then you don't get ads. But I don't have a button I can press to not have ads or anything like that. It's a little unfortunate. Yeah, 5 ads in a row. That's absurd. I can't explain this to you, Killshot, but that made me feel very old when you said that. Because, to me, the correct analogy would be Ozma is the war mech of this game. Because I played Final Fantasy 1 as my first Final Fantasy. And the optional super boss was named War Mech. Yeah, you just have a 1 in 64 chance of encountering him when you cross the bridge. In the final dungeon. And y'all talking about food make me hungry. But I can't go eat lunch until I do this. Finish the stream at least. Although I should be getting close. My HP is low and I only have like 6,000 XP to get to the 80k. And I usually need to heal at 5,000 XP. Alright, now this, as far as my favorite food. So this surprised me when I realized it, because I'm very much meat and potatoes guy. I love all different kinds of steak, mashed potatoes, fries, all that good stuff. Give me protein and starch all day, every day. But my favorite food, like, if you trapped me on a desert island and said I can only eat one food every meal for the rest of my life, French toast. I just love French toast. I could eat French toast forever and never get tired of it. My place for French toast. Well, French toast is kind of hard to mess up. As long as you're not like doing fast food French toast sticks that are obviously like a frozen processed piece of shit. Like any actual breakfast place that has French toast will have decent French toast. You know, I haven't actually gone out to a sit-down breakfast place since I moved. There used to be one, or there was one where I used to live, where it was one of these restaurants that does breakfast and lunch, and they like close at 2, and they're only open like 4 days a week. But they had good breakfast, and they had good French toast. There was one time I went to, it was like a French-style bakery patisserie. Back in California. And they had this Nutella stuffed French toast that was amazing. Yeah, I'm leery of like getting French toast or like a breakfast meal from like Uber Eats or Grubhub or DoorDash or whatever. You know, fill in your food delivery service of choice. Because I can't imagine it surviving transit very well. I'm gonna potion up. How much would that? I don't know. Food delivery always seems like it's $10 more expensive than what the menu price is, and some restaurants will actually charge more on the menu price. You know, they'll raise the menu price for the food delivery sites as opposed to ordering in person. So yeah, it's never really seemed like a worthwhile trade-off to me. I'd rather DoorDash some like brioche bread and just make my own French toast. But also that's effort, and I'm still ordering grocery delivery. I don't know, maybe the next time I order groceries, I'll throw in a loaf of bread for French toast. Killshot, you gotta learn the joys of roasts. There's a lot of good dishes you can make that's just throw shit in a roasting pan, throw roasting pan in oven, wait. I have this really great recipe that's like chicken, potatoes, and sausage, where it's like you can optionally brown the sausage if you want, and it's better, you get crispier skin on the sausage that way, or on the casing. But it's literally just quarter the potatoes, slice up the sausage, and then take chicken thighs, throw them in a bowl with seasoning and olive oil, mix it all up so everything's seasoned, dump it in a roasting pan, and then throw it in the oven for an hour. Like, I can do a big pan of that and eat off of it for days. Like, I'll throw it in with, you know, salt, pepper, obviously, paprika. I love paprika. Some herb de Provence. which is like this Italian seasoning blend. And that's all you really need. Maybe some garlic powder. But like, if you get like Italian sausage, it's going to have some of that seasoning in it. It's going to have some garlic powder and some, if you get the hot stuff, it's going to have cayenne. And that will come out into the roasting juices and season the other stuff. So you don't necessarily need to add garlic powder or cayenne powder if you're doing hot Italian sausage. But I usually do either mild or sweet Italian. And then I throw in garlic powder. But yeah, you just mix it up with some olive oil. Wagyu beef tallow. Man, that sounds expensive and dumb. Like, the whole point of Wagyu is that the fat is marbled throughout the meat so well. Like, that's why Kobe beef in Japan is so expensive. Because you have beautifully, impeccably marbled meat. So, like, rendering that out just to have tallow, it's like, what's the point? Just, like, I don't see why you wouldn't just get regular beef tallow. And if you want the flavor, buy Wagyu beef. And then you get to eat the beef. Not that I'm ever gonna do that, freaking hundreds of dollars for a steak, hell no. I will spring for ribeye sometimes, but I'm perfectly happy with a well-cooked skirt steak. Sirloin. I don't need the fanciest of fancy beefs. London broil, speaking of roasting pans. How much does USDA prime meat cost? I mean, it depends on the cut, mostly, and where you're buying it from. Let me pull up the meat place I usually shop at. Ribeyes. Let's go with ribeye. And we're going prime. 24 bucks a pound for ribeye fillet. Bone-in ribeye, 40 bucks a pound. A whole steak, boneless, $18 a pound. That's probably your best bet. You can get your tomahawk steak for 28 bucks a pound. You can get a bone-in beef ribeye roast for $23 a pound. But then you're talking about like an 8-pound roast, so it's over 150 bucks. Whereas if I hit A5 Wagyu, it says there's no ribeyes. So fuck me, I guess. Except if I... okay, whatever. A5 Wagyu beef ribeye. $130 a pound. Fuck off. I ain't paying $130 a pound for a ribeye steak. I mean, it looks amazing. It looks beautiful. But, no. Yeah, Shotgun Splicer, the cheapest one I saw was, of these various ribeye cuts, was 18 a pound, so it's about the same. You just need it only gets more expensive per pound at the specialty cuts. Like your bone-in, your tomahawk, your fillet. The bone has marrow in it that when you cook with the bone in, that marrow will flavor the meat. So a lot of people prefer the taste of bone-in cuts, but a lot of lazy people like me prefer not to have to deal with the bone in the steak or paying for the weight of the bone when you're buying meat, and get boneless cuts. Oh, we're almost there. And I think after this, I'm going to go cook myself a burger. Since everybody was talking about Wendy's and Five Guys. And I have burger makings. I got some nice half-pound burger patties that I think are ground chuck. So I'm gonna cook myself a burger. And then I'm gonna eat it. Man, this was 2 hours. There ain't no way I'm doing another 3 hours 20 on top of this. So yeah, no long stream. And what a fool I am for ever thinking I might make this a long stream just because I started early. My God. No, as long as I don't undercook it, because it is a half-pound burger. It's surprisingly easy to cook it and end up with raw burger in the middle. And I'm not about that life. Burgers need to be at least medium. Probably medium well. Now steaks should be rare or medium rare. Like if a steak is medium, it's overcooked. But burgers should be mid-well or medium at least. Alright, and that's gonna do it for the stream. Thank you all for hanging out and talking with me. Thank you again to Omega Apple Pie for the donation and Frozen Kernel for the bits. Thank you again to KP Killshot for the follow. I will see you all next time. So until next time, take care.